Hey guys, what's up? It's Sarah and today I'm here with a Priceline haul slash recommendations video. I'm going to start with my recommendations and then get on to my haul of what I bought today. If you didn't know, it is the Priceline 50% off sale, and from what I can remember is Priceline usually do 40% off sales, so when I saw it was 50% I was like, oh my god. And I haven't had much new makeup. I just wanted to quickly mention as well that I have done a Priceline haul and top 10 favourites, which most of my top 10 favourites I think you can get at Priceline anyways, so I'll link those two videos down below if you're interested. But anyway, let's jump straight into the video. So I'm going to go in order of how you would apply things on the face. So the first thing I would recommend, which I actually repurchased for my haul, would be the NYX Angel Veil Primer. So the purpose of this product is that it's a skin perfecting primer, and basically before your foundation you'll put this on and it'll just blur out all your pores, give you a really seamless base, you know, fill in your textured areas and just even out your complexion, so that when you apply your foundation you have a much better chance at having a nicer coverage and your foundation will just sit better on top of this primer. I also find that my makeup lasts really well with this primer and it keeps my oiliness at bay as well, so definitely pick this one up if you're on the market for a new primer. Another primer I would like to mention, and I believe they've got new packaging, is the L'Oreal Lumi Magique primer. I don't use this one so much just because I do have oily skin, and I find for oilier combination skin types the NYX Angel Veil primer is better, but if you have more of a drier skin and want that kind of glow beneath your foundation, the L'Oreal Lumi Magique primer is fantastic for that as well, so I just wanted to give that one a quick mention. For foundation I would recommend the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour matte, am I in focus? The L'Oreal 24-hour matte foundation. This has a quite high coverage and obviously is a matte finish, so for those people who do have an oily combination skin type, I think this would be great. Even if you are a bit on the drier side, you could use the L'Oreal Lumi Magique, and because this has such high coverage this will still be a really great option for you, and since it is matte it'll last longer as well, so it kind of just depends on what you want to use this product for. But in terms of my oily skin, this one is fantastic. I just realised my camera's at a really odd angle today. But moving on to concealer, mine is really wrecked at the moment, but this is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. I use the shade 15. I find that if you're a bit more on the pinker side, so that means you're a cooler skin tone, I would definitely recommend 15 and not 10, even though you would think 10 is lighter. It's actually not, it's more yellow based and just looks a bit funny on pinker skin tones like myself. But this is a really great concealer. I've actually repurchased this in my haul. This shade and number 10, because when I do tan, and I've got a bit of fake tan left on the moment, I'm a lot more yellow than I am normally, and I would just like to see how that shade performs when I am tanned. But this is a really great concealer. I don't really have much to complain about it. It has a good coverage, just really good all-rounder concealer. I don't really feel like anyone can go wrong with this one. For setting powder, I have two pressed powders for you. The first one, and don't mind my packaging, is the Rimmel Stay Matte powder. I have this one in the shade transparent, so it doesn't really have a colour, but I'll just put that down because it's really ugly. But I definitely recommend that powder. It's just, although it says Stay Matte, it's just a really great setting powder. So if you want to set your whole face, and yes, there's a transparent shade, so if you don't necessarily know what shade you are, because I know I struggle picking shades of like foundation powders for myself, but that powder you can get obviously in the transparent shade, and it's just a really fantastic all-round powder which I would highly recommend. The other one, which has a bit of coverage, is the Australis Fresh and Flawless powder. I have the shade Nude. I've hit pan and I actually repurchased this, and I repurchased the darker shade for when I'm tan, because like right now all I have on as like a foundation base is a bit of powder, and this powder in particular. This one apparently compares to the MAC one that has the black lid, their foundation powder, but it compares to that. It's really cheap, just really good powder if you're in the market for a new foundation powder. Onto cheek products. A bronzer I would highly recommend is the Bronze Booster by Physicians Formula. I have the light to medium shade. Now, I don't actually know if they're doing this anymore. I saw it online, but I went to two Priceline stores and both of them didn't stock Physicians Formula, which I found really weird. But if your Priceline does stock Physicians Formula, I would definitely recommend this bronzer. Honestly, it looks good when you're tan, when you're pale. It's not too orange. It's quite brown. It doesn't look very brown in there, but on the camera, but it is quite brown and it just suits most skin tones, I find, and won't make you look like an Oompa Loompa. And then for blushes, I don't often use these, but if I was to recommend a drugstore blush, I would recommend the NYX, I think these are, yeah, NYX powder blushes. I have two shades, they look like this. I have the shade Terracotta, which is this kind of browny, peachy toned, shimmery blush. And I also have the shade Pinched, which is kind of your stock standard pink blush that also has a tiny bit of gold shimmer in it. But these are just really nice blushes. I find that you might need to go in with a lighter hand and just build it up, so don't dunk straight into the product because they can be quite pigmented depending on the shade. And also, you don't want to just be looking like a clown and like dump pink right on your cheek. But yeah, these ones are really great. And then for contour, I would recommend the NYX. This is another NYX blush. I think this is the HD blush. Now, this is not a blush. I mean, come on. Who is going to put this on as a blush? It's brown. I use this as a contour. This is in the shade Taupe. And honestly, this and Benefit Hoola bronzer, like, if you have one or the other, you're pretty much set. I don't find that this ever looks muddy on me. I mean, I do go in with a pretty light hand, again, building up the product as I go, but this is a really great contour from the drugstore, and I find that a lot of the drugstore contour powders can be quite just, yeah, chunky and look a bit chunky on your skin. So this one definitely doesn't though, because it is more of a blush meant to be blended formula. Unfortunately, I don't have a highlighter to recommend to you guys today from Priceline, but if you want to give things a go, I've heard that there's a L'Oreal palette, like a highlighter palette that's brand new that is really great, but I don't actually have anything to recommend for you there. A couple of eye products I wanted to mention are the Australis Metallics eyeshadow range. These are fantastic. They're cream eyeshadows. I have about 5 or 6 of these. They're really cheap. I don't even think they're over $10 normally, but I might be wrong. They come in a massive pot. You've got heaps of product in there. These are just great if you want to do like a metallic eye or even just brighten up where you usually put shimmer shades. Sometimes shimmer eyeshadows aren't quite enough for what you want compared to a matte crease. I like using these underneath shimmer shades just to give the shimmers a bit more of a pop. My two favorite shades out of the ones I have are Guns and Rose Petals, which is kind of this cool tone silvery pinky shade, and the other one is Pearl Jammin'. Now, I don't really think this is a pearl shade, but it's kind of a champagne-y gold, and they're both really, really pretty. Definitely recommend these ones. Also for eyes, a product I really wanted to mention. I didn't use these actually when I first bought them, but I've started incorporating them a bit more into my eye looks recently, and I really enjoy the NYX roll-on shimmers. I have four of these, I think, now. They come with a little ball roll-on, and you kind of just can roll it on. I like to roll quite a lot onto the back of my hand, and then I'll get a wet brush and pat the brush onto what I've rolled on my hand and then put it on my eyes. These are very shimmery. I don't know if you can see that there. I find that they do come off a bit, so to help with that you can also buy the NYX glitter primer, which is a fantastic glitter primer to put on. Just tap on a little bit first, and then I find these stick much better and adhere more to the eyelid. One of my favorite shades of the ones that I have is the shade 05 Mauve Pink Rose Violet. There are 2 names on there, but it's kind of just this pinky cool tone, like quite pink shade. It's really pretty, especially for brown eyes. I find that pink eyeshadow complements brown eyes quite well. And the other shade is Salmon, which you could kind of just use more with a nude eye look. But yeah, both really great products, and the glitter primer as well if you wanted to use these and maybe just have them last a bit longer on your eyelid. For eyebrows, I typically use an eyeshadow, but I've actually bought some new eyebrow products which I'm really excited to try out. But I have used the Maybelline Brow Precise Micro Crayon before, and it's kind of just one of those twisty uppy pencils, and you get quite a lot of product. It lasts a really long time. The nib on the end is really fine to draw in your eyebrows, and it also comes with a spoolie to blend the product out, so you can't really go wrong with this eyebrow pencil. And I mean, how could I go without mentioning the L'Oreal Brow Artist Plumper? I use the medium to dark shade. This is just an eyebrow gel. I use it to set my eyebrows every single time. I can't complain about it. Even if you don't want to use any eyebrow product and you just want to put a little bit of this to define your eyebrows a bit more and emphasize them, this is fantastic. So honestly, if you're gonna pick up anything from this haul, I would probably say, like one thing, I would probably say this. And then for mascara, I would recommend the CoverGirl Clump Crusher. It just looks like this. It comes with a plastic brush. I prefer plastic brushes to hairy brushes. I don't know why, but I feel like they just separate my eye lashes a bit better. But yeah, it comes with a little brush like that. And yeah, it's just really good for separating. I don't really get any clumps with this one, and if you do, it's easy to brush them out, and it's just kind of a staple mascara for me. And finally, a lip product I would like to recommend to you guys would be the Rimmel Moisture Renew lipsticks. Now, I have 3 of these. I have the shades Vintage Pink, In Love with Ginger, and Heather Shimmer. I really love these lipsticks. These are very pigmented lipsticks, and I find as well that, okay, they're not matte, but they do last quite a long time on the lips, but since they are you know, meant for moisturizing your lips as well, they won't last as long as a matte lipstick. So just know that you would probably have to bring one of these if you're going to wear it for touch-ups as the day goes. But these are the colors. So the top one is Vintage Pink. It's kind of this cool toned blue undertoned pinky nudie shade. And then also we have Heather Shimmer, which is more of a brownie nude shade, and I really like these brown nudes. And then finally we've got In Love with Ginger, which is a really nice red shade, similar to the one I've got on. This one's by MAC though. Okay, so now to show you what I bought, which is very exciting. So the products that I repurchased that I've actually just mentioned to you would be a mascara, the Clump Crusher mascara, NYX Angel Veil Primer, L'Oreal Brow Artist Plumper, and another shade of the Australis Fresh and Flawless powder. This one's in the shade Medium Tan for, again, when I'm tanned. Also 2 of the Fit Me concealers, these ones, so I have the shade 10 and 15. As I mentioned before, I just want to try out the shade 10 for when I'm tanned. I bought another as well. I live by these, just if you want a good lip balm. This is the Burt's Bees Mango Moisturizing Lip Balm. These are so nice. Like, I always have one in my bag and I always lose them. But they're really, really good lip balms because, you know, you can never have too many lip balms. Okay, and on to some new exciting things. So I bought one of the NYX Lingerie lipsticks. These are liquid lipsticks. This one's in the shade Lipley, number 12. I also have another one of these in the shade Teddy, but I haven't used it enough to remember what the formula was like. That's why I didn't want to mention it in this video. But Crystal Conti, or Crystal Cont, or whatever her name is, she recommended these, I think. And these are just, in terms of drugstore liquid lipsticks, I would probably say these ones are the best. And this color is really appealing to me. It's just kind of a dark pinky color, which I'm really excited about. Another new product I bought is the Maybelline Master Fix by Face Studio Wear Boosting Setting Spray. So I've only ever used the Urban Decay setting sprays and also MAC Fix Plus, but that's not really a setting spray. But I'm really excited to see what the drugstore has to offer in terms of setting spray. Maybe I could do like a wear test and do half of my face with the Urban Decay all-nighter, and then I could do half of my face with this one. Let me know if you would like to see that. I feel like that'd be a cool test video. I also wanted to try out a new foundation since, as you guys would know, I stick to what I love and I really only use the L'Oreal Infallible foundation, but I've heard fantastic things about this one. This is the Superstay Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation by Maybelline. I bought the lightest shade and I am a bit tanned at the moment, but I'm hoping it's not too light. If you want a first impressions on that, let me know. I also got the L'Oreal Back to Bronze Gentle Matte Bronzing Powder in the shade 02 Sun Kiss. And this is just a really nice brown toned, undertoned bronzer, because I was going to buy this and I was going to get a refill of my bronze booster, but since Physicians Formula wasn't in Priceline, I couldn't do that. So I'm glad I can find another one if maybe Priceline has stopped stocking Physicians Formula. I also got 2 of the NYX Glitter Palettes? I don't know how to say that. I got them in the shades 03 and 06. And they're just these little glittery pots, which are really pretty, and I'm actually so surprised that Drugstore does glitters now, because usually you can only buy high-end ones. So I have one shade that's a kind of a black with rainbow reflex, and then this one is pink with looks like rainbow reflex as well, and some silver in there. So these ones will be cool. I'm excited to try out maybe some different eye looks with those ones. The last two things I got are eyebrow products. So I'll mention this one first. This is the L'Oreal Paradise Pomade Ecstatic. Yeah. This is like a little pomade that comes with, I think this part's a brush, this part's the brush, and then that's the pomade. My eyebrow pomade dried up, so it's good to have another one. And I also just want to get back into using pomade because I've been stuck on powder for so long. I love powder. I feel like I'll always love powder over pencil, but in terms of when you're going for a more dramatic look, it's sometimes nice to have something that'll define your eyebrows a little bit more, and a pomade will do that. As I would have just mentioned, I love powders. I also got the NYX Eyebrow Cake Powder in the shade Dark Brown. This is just two powders, which I'm interested to see which one matches. I feel like the darker one and maybe the lighter one towards the inner. And there's also a bit of wax in there. I think that's to set your brows. Oh, and it also comes with two little brushes to apply the product, which is really handy for traveling. Anyway, that's all for today. I'm so sorry if I talked so quickly, but I just wanted to get it all out so I could upload this video for you all. But I just wanted to hash over each product, tell you a bit about it. If you have any questions or want to know anything more about anything I've mentioned, please comment below or message me or something, because I'm more than happy to talk about the products. I actually love talking about makeup. When people ask me for advice, I'm like, yes! Blah, blah, blah. So I just wanted to mention as well that the sale is on today, which is the 31st of July, also the 1st of August and the 2nd of August. So it's a 3-day sale, 50% off. It's online and in store, so don't forget to check out online if you can't find something in store. Yeah, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Check out my other two videos in the description down below, and I will see you guys. Oh wait, I didn't do my like trademark. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you didn't, please leave. But for now, I will say goodbye, and I'll see you very soon in another video. Mwah! Thanks guys!